And we're back for another episode of the MMA Vivisection on Invicta FC 14. Yes, that was worth it. That was worth it, especially because I think Dio didn't even notice what was going on. He was just 1,000 miles away. But which brings me to my esteemed cohorts here. I have the Bloody Elbow mod crew and former mod crew, Dio.
Still kind of current until the end of the year. That's when I'm leaving.
The part-time mod crew and the full-time mod crew. Dio, Vic, thanks for dropping in on me.
You're welcome.
Dio, don't leave. What? Why? Just why? Seriously. I mean, I want you to be happy outside. Why? Come on.
I mean, I'm gonna run out of like pro wrestling gifs to ban people with at this point.
You'll never run out. Nope. As long as we have World Star, you'll never run out of material. I can guarantee you that.
This is true.
There you go.
This is also true.
Internal politicking aside, we're here to talk about Invicta FC 14. It's not a deep card. Hopefully, as is usually the Invicta way, hopefully it's still a fun card. As others have pointed out recently, I think Luke Thomas said it, that Julie Kedzie is one of the best matchmakers in the game out there, especially given what she's got to work with. She does a hell of a job. And their cards are continually a testament to that, in that they're always really well matched with very little to work with.
Right.
So this is really just kind of the standard of what Invicta is now. We've got a few names we know, and then a whole bunch of people that, if you're me at least, you're kind of like,
yeah. There's a lot of that. There is a lot of that.
So, on that note, let's just dive right in. I'm not even going to preface that or try to set up something like I got something good to say.
Nah.
We're going right in. I believe first up on the card is a lightweight bout, Rachel Wiley, Felicia Spencer. I am not even going to pretend to go to Dio and be like, Dio, why don't you fill me in on this, Vic? Take us away.
Yeah, I don't even think Vic knows, because neither of them have. I think there's one amateur fight between the two of them.
That's not totally correct. All right, first off, they're both making their pro debut. Rachel Wiley, 6-2, is an amateur. She's got 2 submissions on her record and 2 TKOs. Felicia Spencer, 5-1, is an amateur, 2 subs and 1 TKO as well.
Where do you find this stuff?
You know what, man? I'm a diligent man of many means. That's what you gotta know. That's how I can see what's going on in your other browser tabs. But anyway, look, the point is this. You've got 2 very, very raw prospects. They're making their pro debuts, but they're not totally unseasoned. They're both tenacious. They're both very aggressive with their styles, and they very well could end up having a very sloppy, fun fight, or a very odd, sloppy, not so fun fight. I'm going to bank on it being fun, because they both have styles that, they're not too different from each other. Felicia Spencer is relentless when she smells blood. She drives a very, very hard pace. Hasn't seemed like she's been in the best of shape in some of her fights, but she does have crazy scrambles. She is somewhat athletic, and she is able to bully her opponents around. Rachel Wiley does have some of that as well, but her striking defense seems like it's something that can be exploited. She might suffer from not having the same sort of physicality, but she also pressures and keeps the fight, tries to keep it where she wants it, which is mostly going to be in the clinch. So I'm looking at something good here. This should be decent.
Pick?
Yeah. Oh, pick. I'd have to go with Spencer on this one.
Spencer? All right. Dio, respond. I want a 500-word rebuttal right now.
I'm just gonna pick Rachel Wiley because Felicia Spencer spells phenom, F-E-E-N-O-M. So points against her on that.
All right. I like the early heat. That's what I want. If we aren't, if we're not coming with facts, I want heat. So taking the opposition's a good start. Thank you.
Yes.
He's doing this despite me, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, that's right.
I add to this, 155 is essentially super heavyweight for women's division. So when Vic said that it might be a sloppy, weird fight, it's going to be a sloppy, weird fight.
Hey, it's not going to be like that women's lightweight fight that we saw a couple of months ago where there was some pot shotting and some, just heavy breathing. Like, these two will come forward, so this will work. This can very much work, most likely.
I'm not giving it that much of a chance.
Some people not as sold as others. That's okay. I like it. It's a strong start. Next up on the card, we have Aspen Ladd, Amanda Bobby Cooper. I feel like that should be related to Super Duper Bobby Cooper, but it's probably not.
Oh, boy.
This is a 125-pound flyweight fight. Couple of fights between them. Just on a brief note, first of all, I don't have any odds. I wish I did. I would like odds very badly, but they are not posted yet because gambling sites have realized that trying to handicap women's MMA is a fool's errand often. So odds you can expect them like late the night before the fights happen. You will get odds. Second, I had a point.
You said they had a few fights between them.
Invicta FC.
Yeah, no. Second.
This is what we do.
No, hey, no. Second. We did the math beforehand.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Modafferi, Mariana Moraes have as many fights between the two of them as the rest of the card under them combined.
Wow.
Which is ridiculous. But tells you a lot of what you need to know about the women's MMA scene, sadly.
Yeah. I just wanted to throw that out there before we got too deep into the weeds. I mean, I realized we would have got to that fight eventually, and I could have thrown that out as a really nice factoid of my contribution at the time. But I'm just burning all of my. I'm burning the candle hot and bright and fast, and by the end of this, I'm just gonna be totally gone. Okay, so on that note, Aspen Ladd, Amanda Bobby Cooper. Dio, what do you got?
Well, people will probably know Amanda Bobby Cooper from the video that kind of made the MMA rounds a few years back, where she probably one of the slowest knockout punches I've ever seen in my life. But she packs a wallop. But she, in my opinion, should probably be fighting a weight class below. As far as height, build, just frame altogether, not the most athletic at all, and going up against Aspen Ladd, who is pretty big, 125er. I don't really see this going her way. Aspen Ladd is like one of the cutest killers in the game right now. So that's what I got for you. There you go.
So Aspen Ladd all the way. All right, Vic.
All right. Well, first off, a little background on both of them. They're 1-0. Bobby Cooper's 1-0. 8-3 as an amateur with a loss to Alana Jones, who you might remember was made famous by Holly Holm after that head kick from hell. She also has a submission loss to Randa Marcos, interestingly enough, on the amateur circuit. Very strong, good wrestling, very sort of compact frame, and she does work to get to dominant positions in order to keep things going from there. Aspen Ladd is 8-1 as an amateur. She's got a win very recently over Roma Pavlik, who's an Invicta flyweight who just joined the roster recently. Last Invicta appearance was a fight in which she TKO'd Ana Vidal. Not too many people were expecting that against a jiu-jitsu ace. Very good takedown defense, serviceable, basic boxing. She's got really solid composure. Not much with ground striking, and I kind of worry about her submission game because she sort of has a tendency to grab a submission and not let go, might burn herself out, something like that. I don't know if she's really going to be able to deal with Cooper's size and physicality. Maybe it'll happen. I got to pick Ladd just on being crafty, but, I mean, I don't know. It seems to me like Cooper might have more of a striking advantage and might win in that fashion. So I'm going to go with Ladd here.
All right, a tentative agreement. Tentative. I like the heat more, but I can take a little. The tension's nice. Keep the tension boiling. Keep a nice simmer going. That works too. Next up, weight division? I'm having to switch back because these cards are out of order everywhere. We've got a strawweight bout, J.J. Aldridge, Rosa Acevedo, 3-1 Acevedo, J.J. Aldridge 1-1. Victor?
Okay, this is going to be a tough one to watch. And I think this is the one that'll be opening the card. I hope so we can get this out of the way. And I feel kind of bad saying this because no disrespect to Acevedo or Aldridge. I think Aldridge is really a good fighter who's coming along nicely, but Acevedo really has no business going in there and fighting. The original bout was actually going to be Daniela Cortman, who eventually got injured, and Acevedo came in as a replacement. So props to her for coming in. Aldridge is 1-1 as a pro. I don't know what the hell you're doing. I'm sorry.
I'm saying, give me a sec. 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Cortman actually had visa issues. Just an FYI.
Oh, my apologies. Thank you. Okay. I thought you were doing some sort of like Illuminati missile launch sequence.
No, you're...
No! Oh, Jesus. Next thing you know, yeah, my dog will be doing that too. Aldridge, 7-3 as an amateur. She's got a win over Kaylin Curran as an amateur, lost to Rocky Pennington as an amateur, and she also had beaten Delaney Owen previously in Invicta. A loss to Jamie Moylan, which she looked okay in certain spots.
And basic boxing.
Yeah, she got choked to sleep. This is true. Basic boxing hits pretty hard, and, you know, I just don't see Acevedo capitalizing on anything. She's mostly a brawler. And that's pretty much it. I haven't really seen anything. There's not much video of her out there. What I have seen does not look good for her in this bout at all. So Aldridge by a mile.
I like the old man storytelling aspect right in the middle of that, where it was like, yeah, this is true. This is also something that is so. All of these things could happen.
And there were cantaloupes as far as the eye could see.
Anyway, Dio.
I'm
You're going Acevedo after that, right? All in Acevedo.
No. You guys know business. She has no business in this is, I don't want to say this is explode fights level matchmaking, but Acevedo does not have any right to be facing someone on Aldridge's level. Had Aldridge gone up against anybody except other than Jamie Moyle in her last fight, she probably would have won. She's a really good fighter. She just was against a better fighter. Acevedo is not that. And I wouldn't be surprised if J.J. Aldridge has a chip on her shoulder after getting, she got not just choked out, but she woke up like Matt Roth in a train yard in New York. It was I would not be surprised if she comes back with a vengeance. I'm going to go first round, maybe second round, stoppage of some sort. Because Acevedo just does not have any right to be here. Props for stepping up, but nah.
I'd say that I would say you're going overly cult on the Roth reference, but we're a women's MMA breakdown show, so you can probably be as cult as you want.
Yeah, it's, be elitist and whatnot. Plus, I'm over at cage side seats a lot now, so, he kind of drunkenly stumbles in from time to time. So.
I would have gone in with Rufus Sewell in Dark City. Just wake up and there's blood all over your hands like, oh, shit, something's wrong here. Yeah, oh, well.
All right, on that note, how I'm going to carry that forward. I see. So now my sense of this card is just all fucked because we, like I say, I'm looking at Tapology is usually righter. I should go with Tapology. I just the Sherdog one felt good. It felt right. So I went with that to start. But at this point, I think either way, the same bout's up next. Jinyu Frey, Liz McCarthy. I want to get out ahead of this and say I'm a little excited about this because I like Jinyu Frey. She's got some real talent. She's got some real skill. She seems like she's athletic. She's aggressive. She strikes well when she puts her mind to it. And, she's really early in her career, too. She just started fighting as a pro in 2013, so lots of room to develop. I'm excited to see her fight. This is a atomweight bout. Dio, fill me in on McCarthy and the rest of it.
I mean, McCarthy just hasn't really. She hasn't done anything in her fights previously where I was like, oh yeah, she's she's lost. She's 1-2 in her Invicta.
Yes, as a pro, yes.
As a pro, so yeah, 2-2, but 1-2 in Invicta.
Yeah.
So it's really nothing to write home about. She had like some cool, like weird blue pants one time when she fought, but Jinyu Frey, we know her from the GIF and video that circulated everywhere, not just MMA sites, but World Star, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, what have you.
MySpace.
Snapchat. What kind of pic was this?
Yeah. So, but like you said, like she is very exciting, very athletic. She has power. Only thing is, like, she can be kind of tentative when she strikes, which is what happened in her last fight. And, like, yeah, if she can get outside of her head and actually just go out there and do what she needs to do, McCarthy's not really going to be a match. Yeah.
Victor, now time for the truth. I want the truth.
Wow.
Truth bomb.
Okay, well, let's see what we can work with here. All right, McCarthy may not have the best pro record, but she did go 6-0 as an amateur, 2 TKOs and 3 submissions. Now, she did have losses as a pro to Amber Brown and Jody Escobel. Nothing to be ashamed of, both very, very tough opponents. I do wonder here how this is going to play out because Frey's got pretty good movement. She's got pretty crafty submission setups and works very actively off her back. Her boxing is more than serviceable. She's got that 1 KO win over Darla Harris, the one that Dio mentioned that made Darla Harris somewhat famous.
For all the wrong reasons.
For all the wrong reasons. I would actually pick Frey, but I don't know how she's going to do with McCarthy's wrestling and pressure. It does kind of worry me. So I would actually have to go with McCarthy on this one somewhat tentatively because I don't know, man. Standing McCarthy's going to get beat up for a bit, but she's eventually going to find a way to come on in and take her down and impose her game.
There's a lot of mental aspects in this one. So a lot of, like, this one, all, for me, it's all mental. If Jinyu Frey is, all the way there, then probably going to come out on top. But if she has that inkling, she's like, I'm going to make a comic book reference here. She was a gladiator from X-Men fame. If you don't have, if you have all the confidence, you can beat anybody. If not, loses all power. So, yeah.
All right. That's sharp. They keep this hip with the young audience. So, like.
Oh, yeah. We've already had Snapchat, Instagram,
X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're cool. No, I know it.
I guess.
Yeah.
Vic, don't ruin this for me.
I'm an old man. I don't know. All I have is regrets and broken backs and knees and shit. I don't know.
Get a Daft Punk shirt on. Come on. You're
I guess. But
they
see,
did that one song about the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably listening to nothing but Dominican remixes of Daft Punk. So
God, yeah. Wearing them big brown bulky slippers that weigh 30 pounds each. You try hitting a kid with that, that's manslaughter. That's
it's Get Lucky, the reggaeton version.
Yeah. I'm gonna send you guys. There's a Mexican version of that song that I want to send you guys. It's gonna be fantastic.
I've heard it. Don't do this, Nick.
Oh, okay. The next up on the card, plowing ahead, straight ahead, no stopping. Jamie Moyle, Sharon Jacobson, strawweight bout, 115 pounds. I recognize both these people vaguely. Victor, why?
You should recognize these names, and you should be very happy that this fight is happening, because I certainly am. Sharon Jacobson, she's got a bit of a decorated wrestling background. 1-0 as an amateur, 3-1 as a pro. 1 knockout, 1 TKO. Although that knockout came in a fight that she had and exploded. Now, I should clarify. Hang on a second. much like the case was with people like, for example, Patrick Cummins, who took a fight with Explode. Sometimes when you have a bit of a reputation and a heavy background and some other combat background, for like that happened with Patrick Cummins, it's hard to find opponents. And Explode is more than willing to have plenty of bodies of part-time auto repair workers that'll be more than glad to take $30 to go in there and get beat up, and then whatever, they probably get paid in sterno. So yeah, I'm not going to really hold that one Explode fight against her. Her last fight in Invicta, it was a win over Delaney Owen. She's looked good. She's looked really like she's putting together a very solid game. She has that one loss against Deanna Bennett. No shame there at all. Jamie Moyle, much more seasoned, much more complete fighter. She's got great striking. She's got really, really crafty submission work as well. Tremendous in scrambles, and it seems like she thrives in being in those frenetic moments. She does have an amateur loss to Delaney Owen, as well as an amateur loss to Tisha Torres, oddly enough. Win over Jenny Lou Shriver, and she's the one who put Aldridge to sleep, as Dio mentioned. Yes, all the way to sleep. 3-0 as a pro. I see very, very big things for the futures of both of these fighters right here. So it's kind of cool we're getting to see them fight early. But yeah, this should be almost guaranteed to be fun.
Winner.
Oh, right, yeah. No, you know what? As much as I like Jacobson, I'm going to have to go with Moyle on this one, just purely because of the complete factor.
I will say this, that as much as Explode is a joke promotion, I don't think that anybody who fights, I don't think any of the fights that go on in there should be counted on anyone's official record.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame fighters for taking those fights. A lot of them think they're told they're getting legit opponents. They are looking for a way to make a couple $100 to get any kind of pro record going, and Explode is the symptom of a broken system of prospect development in MMA in the U.S. It's not itself the root evil, as bad as it is.
I'm willing to bet that a lot of guys will take fights and Explode for free if it means helping bolster their record. If they, just out of desperation, not finding someone.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, there's a thing where you can't, every major amateur or every major small regional show wants to give the hardest fights they can, and not every fighter is ready for the hardest fight that can be booked out there.
Yeah. No.
And then the really small shows, where you're gonna find some regional fighter who's actually training and trying to have a career, who's willing to get paid $50 to get beat up on somebody from a major camp. That's
Yeah, we lack the system that boxing has.
Yeah, we lack that system where the camps themselves are bringing in guys and saying, okay, you're going to fight our guy. We will pay you to develop our fighter.
Right.
So it just doesn't happen in MMA, and Explode is the result. You get a promoter that's like, hey, I can get you whatever you need, guys. Come on.
Right. And fun fact, so the person or the woman that Sharon Jacobson, the TKO, she also got, which was another highlight reel KO in the Explode fight series, was by Christine Stanley. It was like the jump spinning hurricane kick, hook kick, and also made the rounds. So, it's one of those.
Take it away from there, though. This is supposed to be your time to talk, and I just walked all over it.
So what Vic said, plus, yeah. Sharon Jacobson, Sharon Jacobson, she's still very raw, hits really hard, she's got a really compact, stocky build. Her wrestling, from her background, it's going to be better than just about everybody that she goes up against. Really don't know how it matches up, how it translates to MMA yet, because it's only been a few fights, and she hasn't really gone up against a good MMA wrestler. And Jamie Moyle is just, really good, you could take her right now, and I'm getting echo, and it's probably Vic. But you could take her right now, put her in the UFC strawweight division, and she would probably beat, I would say that she'd beat Paige Van Zandt right now. So, and a few others too. So
would beat Paige Van Zandt. That's
yes, the PVZ, the second coming of Rousey and Chuck Liddell.
You know what? I'm not. You know, I'm not like 1,000,000,000% on the Paige Van Zandt bandwagon, but that sounds like BS to me.
That seems like something that's possible, but the likelihood is difficult.
Yeah, I think Dio, you're riding the hype train here. You're taking me. I'm not comfortable going.
I'm not riding the hype train.
He's not totally wrong though. I mean, I can see it happening. It's not difficult for me to envision it taking place. I don't know. I'm not sure how it would actually go, but I can see it being a thing.
I mean, people said the same thing about Kylan Curran. They're like, oh, Kylan Curran will beat Paige Van Zandt, and then Paige Van Zandt came in and broke that shit.
Yeah. But that's like, there's so many things. Of course, hindsight's 20/20. It's not the greatest camp. Her cardio was terrible in that fight. Like, there were so many issues that we hadn't really seen in previous fights there, that now that she's on the big stage, it's like, oh, okay.
Anyway,
we see.
getting away from Dio's strange hype journey that I am unwilling to participate in. It is time for a featherweight bout. I was gonna say another, but there's only one. Cindy Dandois versus Megan Anderson. Dio, Dandois has to bounce back from a loss to the champion Tanya Evinger. Is this the fight to do it?
Who fucking knows? Like, it's like I've said it before on other. Cindy Dandois is not good at fighting. Like, and like, if it was just pure grappling, sure, but like, she's just really not that great at fighting. And like, her last fight, she fought in like some weird dominatrix outfit, and like, there was just so much. There's so much wrong, but. Her striking hasn't improved, and she's been in the game for a while, before the WMA boom even came about. And I remember back in the day, Jonathan Snowden was like hailing her as like the next, she's going to be the one that could take out Rousey. No. Or even no, not back then, it wasn't Rousey, it was Cyborg, which is, now that we know, it's like, oh God, Cyborg would eat her soul. Yeah.
So you're not picking her, are you?
Oh, hell no. Like, I'm not going to, like, she could go against somebody that is 0-4, and I'm probably going to pick the person that's 0-4.
All right.
Her wins have been over, like, to say middling competition is, it's she was getting tuned up by Sheila Gaff before there was the DQ. She, beat Jarena Bars, who is
not a good MMA fighter.
She's not
a good Muay Thai striker. She's not a good MMA fighter.
Right. So, it's like, her best name on her record is Marloes Coenen in 2009, and how that happened, the clock is like wrong most of the time. I'm not even trying to do the analogy, so because she's that bad.
All right,
take it away, Vic.
You might have to unmute yourself. Sorry, I can't seem to unmute you.
That's okay. There we go. All right. When someone is that questionable in terms of skill, that you can take away a man's ability to use metaphors in a proper manner, that's pretty strong. Look, man, I like Cindy. I think she's a very, very good grappler, but her record does look questionable. 5-2, all of her fights have been as a pro. She did have a bit of a long layoff. I believe it's due to having children. Bars, not an MMA fighter at all. She's a Muay Thai specialist, and that's not anything to be ashamed of. That's a good thing, but they had no business having to fight her. Sheila Gaff, it was an odd DQ. The only real win that she has on her record that was the M1 fight against Ibragimova. It was a triangle choke win. And that went over Maria Hugard, which is a TKO. Unless this fight goes to the ground, I would actually have to very heavily favor Anderson on this. You know, she doesn't have a lot of power in her strikes, and her boxing is very basic. But that being said, she makes up for it with a lot of volume, and she stays on top of her opponent. She swarms them and just stays, you know, pounding them until the clock runs out. So I could very easily see Anderson maybe not finishing Dandois, but just working enough from the top to avoid the submissions and be able to ride out a decision on this. And it won't be a pretty one. Unless Dandois pulls off some sort of uses her expertise to pull off a nice submission off her back. I don't see that happening.
And if the reach advantage here is going to be ridiculous too. You know, Dandois is 5'7" to Anderson's 6 foot is it's not going to be pretty.
Not yet.
All right. Well, I'm reasonably convinced. Reasonably. More or less. No, I think there's a chance that Dandois can pull it off after all that.
See yourself. It's up to you.
I feel like I need to throw some. You know, I need a little pep. I need a little that spice, that sort of conflict. I need some conflict thrown in there. But even I can't sell that. So,
the simple fact that a lot of times she won't even try to set up a takedown with strikes. It's just zombie move forward, try to latch on and stuff, and you don't want to do that with somebody that big with that much range. And it's not like a 6 foot with short limbs. She's really, really, really lengthy. So I don't see Dandois getting in on the inside or even really getting in range. And her striking it's not even basic. That's how bad it is. You know,
All right. Let's move on. Flyweight bout: Rachel Ostovich, Andrea Lee. I'm excited for this. KGB Lee is awesome. Even with a close loss to Roxanne Modafferi, Modafferi's got way more experience than her. You know, we can't be too. It was shocking, but
definitely.
In retrospect, it wasn't as shocking as it could have been, maybe, when you have somebody who's 2-0 against somebody who is, 28 and has 28 pro fights. Still, Andrea Lee looks like a real bright spark, like somebody who's going places. And she is taking on Rachel Ostovich, who is training out of what I can only assume is a Joe Son affiliate, Jesus is Lord MMA Systems.
No.
All of Hawaii.
No, it's
some sort of.
No. That's it's actually her dad's gym. Her brother's also a fighter. They have no affiliation with Joe Son or any of those guys.
No, okay.
No, I don't want anybody out there going, I heard Zane Simon say it, and he was real salty in that Vivisection. Like, oh shit, wait a minute, we can't have that.
No, we should understand Joe Son is a terrible person, a joke of a person, a horrible person, a killer and rapist and murderer, and he is also famous for getting punched in the balls and grabbing the cage during a UFC event and screaming, "Jesus is my Lord," into the camera during a fight.
And he had no martial arts. He had no martial arts background either, I think.
No, he had no martial arts background. No. He made a fake Taekwondo school to give he and Chemo belts.
Oh my God! How far we've come.
To their credit, they did study the Gracie in action tapes when he came back, so I'll give him that.
To his own credit, Chemo actually became a half decent fighter.
Yes.
Roided out of his mind, half decent fighter, yes.
Yeah, well, he was in an era where roided out of his mind is the standard. That was baseline.
I'm sorry. Did you miss a little thing called pride?
Oh God.
We're not getting into this. No.
Oh no. Yes, we will.
All right.
Gracie coming in with more testosterone in his body than blood. Amazing.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
So, Rachel Ostovich, Andrea Lee. Who was supposed to go first? Whose turn was it? I totally lost track of that. Invicta. You
All
mumbled
right. Whatever. All right, let's do this. Audrey Lee, the famous KGB. You know, she's come in and she did cause quite a stir when she came in. She did have that loss to Roxanne Modafferi, which was shocking. Not so much because Lee lost. It really had to do more with how much better Roxy looked in that fight. We're going to get to her because she's further up in the card later on. You know, it's not like she lost to the Roxanne Modafferi of maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
The fact that we can even say that.
Yeah.
Some shit.
That is intense. She did have a win over Shannon Sin, and she has a, you know, her boxing and her kickboxing looks great. Her movement in and out. You know, she's very physical. She's a very athletic fighter. I do have to wonder how she's going to fare against someone like Acevedo, who is not only really good with her wrestling. She's had a bunch of amateur fights. You know, she's had some TKO, some finishes by strikes. 2-1 as a pro right now. An amateur win over J.J. Aldridge as well. Very solid with her kickboxing. Very athletic. I wonder if she's going to be able to sort of bully Lee around and kind of keep it at the pace that she wants it to be. I'm going to have to go with Acevedo on this one. I think she just has more tools to win, but Lee is not going to take this line down. She's certainly going to make a fight out of this, and I certainly expect this to be great, unless she's finding some way to get one step ahead and win a decision by, you know, sort of outstriking and keeping her range and making sure everything's on level. I pretty much see Acevedo winning this easy.
Breaking my heart, Vic. Dio, give me hope.
I'm going Lee.
Nice. Yes, you're my man, Dio.
With the caveats of Rachel Acevedo has the style to completely stifle Andrea Lee. Like, you know, if unless, you know, she can, you know, Lee can just completely keep her at distance and not have her be bullied up against the cage the whole time, you know, either from an attempted takedown or just, you know, from just sheer pressure. But I'm going to, for your sake, Zane, for your sake, I'll go with Lee.
Thank you. You do my heart good.
Like, she could definitely, like, if it does stay a, you know, just straight up kickboxing match, I got Lee.
Good, yes. Good call. Good call. I like that.
Yeah. This is where the shrug emoji. This is why it was invented, for shit like this right now. This is why.
All right. Next up, as we've talked about it already, another flyweight bout. Roxanne Modafferi, the Happy Warrior, taking on Mariana Moraes. Modafferi, she's looked much better lately. Her game has rounded out. She's a better striker than ever. As mechanical as she is, she's got, like, you know, Syndicate's really taught her, like, the boxing basics, that she's using them well. Mm-hmm. Like, it's kind of like, I almost want to draw some parallel between, like, Roxanne Modafferi and Frank Mir, where, like, all of a sudden now Frank Mir's boxing is improved, and it has. Like,
yeah, that's pretty accurate. That's actually pretty accurate.
And he's still a dangerous submission threat, and he still looks weird and clunky and wooden in there. And, like, Modafferi's got that same thing. Like, you're still, like, it looks like somebody has her on, like, roller skates and is wheeling her around the cage, and she's, like, punching. But she makes it work. Yeah. So I love her for it. Dio, help me out.
Okay.
How's this fight going?
So you got two things. You have legitimate experience, and you have Brazilian scene experience, which are two very, very different things. Like, Roxy, we know her pedigree. We've seen what she's capable of. With Moraes, it's questionable because you have a lot of those fights that you know, have just taken, you know, we really can't find good records of the people that are there. We don't really have much, you know, a ton of video that we can have. So it's a bit of a toss-up because, of course, yes, Roxy has shown great improvement. Like, when she beat Andrea Lee, we were like, what? You know, the whole fight was like, wait a minute, is this Roxy? really? The same person that, you know, has just been drubbed so many times, now she actually is a competent striker? Okay. But, you know, Moraes is still, it's kind of like an unknown thing, quantity there, because it's like you don't really know what she's capable of. Of course, we've seen what her record is. We've seen some fights, but to talk, I'm going to go with Roxy just off of experience and just the simple fact that she's had such great improvement. But always kind of uneasy on Roxy fights. So
yeah, I think it's the Frank Mir port. I like that because that's exactly how you feel like when you're going into a Frank Mir fight. You're like, well, he could beat this guy. I don't know. I mean,
he's a former champion. He keeps kosher. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, he was in a motorcycle accident one time. That you know, I'm pretty sure you've heard that every fight that he's ever been in. That Joe Rogan commentates on.
All right, Victor, rescue me from my Frank Mir-itis.
Well, you know, here's the thing. Much like Frank Mir, I think not only has it been you've made a great example here with that, the great parallel with that, but it's also maybe that style, that resurgence with their striking has come about because they're so clunky. You know what I mean? Like maybe that clunkiness has benefited them and sort of given them that herky-jerky thing that their opponents might not see coming. I don't know. Maybe it's just a thought. Roxy, I don't think
definitely helped them out there too.
Look,
you know, he can see him like, hey, you kids, get out of that pool over there, and like, you know, in the shorts and like that's exactly the body he's got. It's like telling kids to get out of his pool.
Yeah, you know his neighbor's not going to be keeping his, you know, like, hey, Frank, you mind if I borrow your lawnmower? You know he's giving it back, right? Have you seen Frank? Look, he's dad bod and all. It's not a typical dad.
He'd show up on your door like only wearing a really small pair of swim trunks.
Yeah.
In the middle of summer, asking for it back.
Yeah.
And you're going to give it back. Even if your friend has it, you are going to give it.
Because when he walks away and you see those tattoos, you go, yeah, listen, this man's made some bad choices.
That man has an Echo Unlimited T-shirt tattooed on his fucking back.
Wow.
But back to the matter at hand.
Yes, back to that.
Okay, Vic.
I gotta wonder, you know, so many things have fallen into place for Roxy since she came back to the States. You know, she's working at a more than competent gym. She's working with a great team at Syndicate. She's tightened up many gaps in her game. She's benefited from not only cutting down to 125 now, so she's got more of a level playing ground as far as the physicality of her opponents. She's learning how to cut weight in a better manner. You know, she's keeping everything in tip-top condition as she probably should have a while ago. But, you know, look, either way, as much as I love watching her fight and as much as happy I am to see her get an opportunity here on this card, I'm a little worried about this whole thing with her opposition. Moraes, what little I've seen of her has been horribly unorganized. You know, she's 9-2 as a pro. She's got 6 submissions and 2 TKOs. All of her fights have been as a professional. Here's a problem with this. Every single fight that she's had, well, not every, the most competent, the most notable name that she's got on her record is a fight against Jennifer Maia, which she lost. Outside of that, here's where I'm going to have to rattle off a few numbers here. Let me see. 0-1, 1-1, 0-3, 0-2, 0-5, 1-4, and 2-7. Now, think about that for a minute. You really want to have someone like her fight someone who's been in there against far, far better opposition, even in most of them being losing efforts. Whenever Roxy's faced top-flight opposition, she's still fought top-flight opposition. This is not going to faze her. So there's no way anyone in their right mind should pick Moraes. As soon as those betting odds come out, I'd be very interested to see what those numbers are, because if anybody wants to put some spare change in a Crown Royal bag and put it on Roxy, this would probably be the best time to do it.
Yeah.
Don't literally put the change on her though, because that's like we don't.
Wow, that would be quite mean.
That would be quite mean.
Yes.
All right.
And that's the thing too. So like, and the improvements that Roxy's made at Syndicate, had she not had so much experience already, and like, it's not just like, oh yeah, Roxy has, you know, a couple fights, you know, here and there. Like Roxy has a lot of 3-round fights, and even before there were 3-round fights, she had like, you know, as other fighters might have under an hour worth of cage time. She has hours worth of actual fight cage time. So she is definitely a difference. Something that Moraes just has not come up against at all. So yeah.
All right. Co-main event time. Strawweight bout. Katja Kankampa, former champion, the Killer Bunny, takes on Deanna Bennett, undefeated at 7-0, who is now coming off a big win over Norma Rueda Center at Invicta FC 11. What do you think? Victor Kankampa, or is Bennett going to keep rolling?
Yeah, here's the problem with this bout. Deanna Bennett's been racking up a nice little record for herself. 2-0 as an amateur, 7-0 as a pro, 2 submissions and 2 TKOs as a professional. She's got wins over very, very decent opposition. An early win over Juliana Pena, win over Sharon Jacobson, Colleen Schneider, Michelle Ould, and a very, very nice TKO, Jennifer Maya, and the aforementioned Norma Rueda. I don't know if her skill set will be enough to deal with someone like Katja, but then again, at the same time, Katja is someone who probably should be fighting 10 pounds lighter because her frame, she started, she was dominated for a good while by Stephanie Eggink.
She was getting bodied by Stephanie Eggink.
She was getting beat.
She was getting bodied.
She was getting thrashed, from pretty much from the very first round on until the end, Kankampa's not a slouch either. She's got wins over Juliana Lima, May Yamauchi, Ashley Daly, Carla Benitez, and, look, she might have lost to JoJo Calderwood, no problem there, and she lost to the eventual champion, Renata Souza. Well, look, it is what it is. I don't know if Bennett is going to be able to really just sort of keep her against the cage and start grinding her out from there because you don't count someone like Katja out. So while I do think it's going to get ugly, while I do think that it's going to be something that is going to be more of a clinch battle more than anything else, I really would have to favor Katja just slightly because of that. It's either Katja by submission or Bennett by decision. And I'd take a wild roll of the dice on this. I think Katja's got the composure and the sort of veteran mindset to really make this, find something in her bag of tricks to win this bout.
Yeah.
Gotta agree with Vic here, actually. Surprisingly.
Actually, like I'm just that guy who usually rambles about pencils. I
like the actually. That helps because I hate to see you two getting along. So that was nice. It was like a little dagger. I like him when he's not being an idiot.
Yeah.
At least we don't have Devin here to be with.
Yeah, it's like an Iron Sheik interview. Hey, what do you think of Tito Santana? Hey, he's Mexican, but he's better than nothing. You're like, did you say that? Like, what kind? That's not even a compliment. Like that's
really not. But you forgot, break his back, make him humble.
Exactly.
Old country way.
Whatever the old country way is, yes.
Oh man, I've heard so many of his interviews. Old country way. Wow. But anyhow, Kankampa is always a submission threat, as we saw with the Eggink fight. Like Eggink was curb stomping her most of that match. Like it was bad until, out of nowhere, what they called a dragon sleeper hold, which was just a Bravo joke. But Deanna Bennett has, a lot of interesting tools, but like Vic said, she doesn't have the same mindset that Kankampa does. Could she catch Kankampa, with maybe a kick to the body like she did with Michelle Wu that had her, rolling around the cage like she was giving birth? Could happen. But I'm gonna have to go with Kankampa, especially if this goes, the full fight. But never really know.
That's
I'll lean towards
the weakest pick you made all time.
That's the thing. It's one of those. It's like, it could. It's one of those. Maybe it's. One time he sees, the other time you never know.
All right. Wow. That's just disappointing all around. I can't tell you. I'm not satisfied with that
This
at
is the
all.
saltiest Zane Simon I have ever seen, and I'm enjoying so much of this. Like, just watching your misery is making me so happy with this. I don't know why. This shouldn't happen.
Okay. Well, on that note, finally, main event time. And I'm excited for this fight because I gotta say, I love what Tanya Evinger is doing over in Invicta right now. She is like more than anyone else in that promotion right now. She is burning brightly. Like that is a platform she has made work for her perfectly. So we have the bantamweight women's world title of Invicta, Tanya Evinger, champion, taking on Cage Warriors champion Penny Kianzad. This is Kianzad's second fight for Invicta. And what do you think, Dio? Is Evinger going to keep rolling? She going to be spanking her girlfriend with that belt again?
Is this a thing that happened? Because now my curiosity.
After her last win.
Oh, okay.
What are you going to do with that belt? So you have the title. What are you going to do with it? She said, I'm going to go home and spank my girlfriend with it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She went all the way Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
I mean, this one's a hard one. That's what she said. You have a very good prospect, and you have a, as we know, a very good veteran. But like with me, with Tanya Evinger, there's always that where is she mentally thing. In the last fight, I love Irene Aldana as much as Vic does too, but she washed Aldana in that fight, which I thought was going to be far more competitive than it turned out to be, which it wasn't competitive at all. But I don't know. I might actually be worse on this one than I was with the last one. Like this one's actually a really tough fight to pick.
You gotta give me something. You gotta give me one name. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. One name.
I am going to go with Kianzad for the simple fact that she introduced us to the butt smash MMA attack.
That's as technical as I need you to be for me right now, Dio.
Hey, somebody had to bring it back after, Marco Huntu did back in the day. The atomic.
The atomic butt drop.
Yes.
Victor, you gonna go butt drop on me too?
Butt drop.
Wow. Someone needs to isolate that bit of audio right there. That's just classic internet. My goodness. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna disagree with Dio on this, and very, very simple reasons. First off, Kianzad, much respect to her. She's been doing great things on the European circuit. She's got wins over Jessica Rose Clark and Elisa Bucci, who just fought in Bellator not too long ago, and Milana Dudieva. She's got very good stand-up working from the outside, picking apart her opponent. Decent defensive wrestling, but mostly she gets her offensive game with her clinch. Like that's really, if you let her get in there and sort of just get the tie-up, it's pretty much her game there from there on in. She's really going to be doing the bulk of her work from there. Very good submission defense, but at the same time, you're looking at Tanya Evinger in 2015. I don't worry about her mental state anymore. I think she's really gotten everything together. I think to a point where, we didn't expect her to be competitive to the degree that she was with Aldana, and then eventually she ended up just making her look like an amateur. Her submission game is better than it's ever been. She's on a 7-fight win streak, that loss on Tough notwithstanding. Wins against Karina Dam, Sarah DeLelio, Edion Gomez, the aforementioned Cindy Dandois in a very, very fun ground battle. I mean, her use of range and her boxing are going to be better. Her timing is going to be better, and her ground game is pretty much unmatched right now. I would actually say Tanya Evinger right now could go into the UFC and fight Holly Holm. I think she could beat her. I think she's on that wave that she's riding right, which may not last very long. I really do
That's
think
so
that
much
she
better
is.
than Dio's Paige Van Zandt pick.
Well, it's closer. It's closer to being possible too.
Yeah,
Evinger swore off she doesn't want to be in the UFC, but you know it could happen. I mean, she might. Sean Shelby might throw something at her and make her a good deal. You never know. But look, that's not really what we're here for right now. Evinger, many more tools to win, far more experience, very, very tough. I don't see Kianzad being able to close the distance, crack her, and actually do that sort of damage, you know, to either land on the chin or, you know, get her in any serious trouble. So I do expect this to be a very, very fun fight. I just don't think that Kianzad's ready right now. As much as I love watching her fight, I just don't think she's prepared for this yet.
All right, Dio. I don't want to end. I don't want to end on like us burying you because you deserve it.
Although we should, yes.
Yeah. So you get one chance to a rebuttal, a final thoughts, a chance to just tell us all to go fuck ourselves and sign off. Whatever you need.
Butt drop and Victor's face is terrible.
On occasion, yes, it can be, yes.
All right, on that note, you can find me on Twitter at DZaneSimon. You can find Dio on Twitter at I'm Just Dio. You can find Vic on Twitter at Vic M. Rodriguez. You can find me writing on Bloody Elbow. You can find those two trolling on Bloody Elbow.
Well, I'm trolling hard for the rest of the fucking year. It's amazing. Like, just the simple fact that people are, like, pissed off now that I'm using pro wrestling GIFs. And the emails that we get, it's like, I was banned by, it's like a pro wrestling fan?
You were banned, I was banned by that racist, sexist.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Yes, I can vouch for that. That's
an
actual thing that happened.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all stuff shit people don't need to know. Anyway, watch our videos, give us a like, subscribe to MMANation.com over on YouTube. You know, stay tuned for next week when we'll have more random shit from Nate and Eugene, and probably from me too. I don't know when the Bellator Dynamite show is now.
No, that's the other week. World Series is next week. We might do something.
World Series is next week. Okay, so I'll be doing another one of these for World Series. Vic will probably be joining me on that one, maybe. And until then, everyone, thanks for tuning in.